Casper Beamish Wooden Railway, Episode 84, Switch Chaos. Jack and Alfie had just been called to inspect a switch that had caused a recent accident. "Is this the one?" said Jack. "Yeah, I think so," said Alfie. "Jack, do you know how it even started?" "Well," said Jack, "Peter Sam told me that he and Duncan had gotten spooked by a boulder that they thought was real and could actually speak." "Wow, that does sound surprising," said Alfie. "I think Thumper told me a story about that once. Interesting." "I know," said Jack. "Anyway, how do you think this switch made them derail?" "Well, firstly," said Alfie, "I know it wasn't switched right, but again, these tracks look very old and rusty. That doesn't surprise me, seeing that the narrow gauge railway doesn't receive all that maintenance since there isn't really much to do like the standard gauge railway." "Yeah, I know," remarked Jack, "and it'll be so expensive just to put all that new track there just for a couple of narrow gauge engines." "Well, technically speaking," said Alfie, "yes, in fact, the narrow gauge engines are very, very important. They go around the whole Blue Mountain Quarry for most of the time, and the places that standard gauge engines can't get to." "I know," said Jack. "Let's just leave this switch for now and hope no more accidents occur." "Alright," said Alfie, "let's just do that, I guess." But little did they know that there will be many more switch problems on the island in that entire day. Because it was the middle of summer, all the tracks were buckling, and that was causing many switch troubles. Whiff and Scruff were at the sheds. "Alright, Whiff," said Scruff, "let's get scrunching at the dump." "Righto, Scruff," said Whiff, "let's go." But as soon as Scruff went out of the shed, suddenly his front wheel derailed and he came off the track. Whiff, however, was thinking about something else. He didn't see Scruff and suddenly he derailed as well. "Whoops," said Whiff, "these tracks buckle very easily 'cause it's summer, right?" "Well, yeah, I do agree with you, Whiff. That's very right," said Scruff. "Let's just hope someone doesn't come before I get lifted back onto the track." Just then, Gordon came through and crashed with the express. "Whoops, you spoke too soon, Scruff," said Whiff. The next switch issue was with Bill and Ben. "Bill," said Ben, "can I please go down first?" "No, Ben," said Bill. "I should go first. I always come first. Bill and Ben. Nobody ever says Ben and Bill." "Yeah, that's the point," said Ben. "I should get to go first sometimes. I should go first. I should go first." "No, I'm going first," said Bill. "You'll see." Ben was furious. They both wanted to go down first. In an attempt to race each other, they ended up crashing at the bottom. "You fool!" shouted Bill. "What did you do that for?" "You idiot," said Ben. "You always get to go first. I don't understand." Over on the other side of the tunnel, Oliver was puffing through with a goods train. He had no idea that Bill and Ben were there because the other side of the mine was boarded up. Suddenly, he came out and he saw them, and he had only seconds to react. Oliver braked as hard as he could, but he ended up crashing. "What are you two doing there?" said Oliver. "Bill, I literally landed on top of you. Why did you two just crash there?" "Bill's an idiot," remarked Ben. "Well, this isn't good," said Oliver. The final accident happened with James at the docks. "Alright, see you, Cranky," said James. Then he raced away. He was expecting that the through track out of the docks would be clear, but instead Emily was sitting there. He was going so fast and he crashed into her tender. "What was that for, James?" said Emily. "Whoops, sorry, Emily," said James. At that moment, the Fat Controller appeared in his car. "What happened here?" said the Fat Controller. "Sorry, sir," apologized James. "I was going so fast and crashed into Emily. I thought this line was going to be clear." Well, said the Fat Controller, it just so happens that there's been 2 other switch accidents. Gordon crashed into Whiff and Scruff with the express, and Oliver crashed into Bill and Ben with the goods train. Wow, said James. These switches really can get all buckled when it's summer, can't it? Yeah, said Emily. These switches really need to get replaced sometime. They're causing too much trouble, and this day will certainly be in history. It certainly will, said the Fat Controller. But James, I still don't get what was going on with you. Why were you going so fast? 'Cause I'm the fastest red engine on Sodor, said James. Oh, come on, James, said Emily. Come on, be serious. Okay, fine, said James. I like going faster. I understand, said the Fat Controller. Anyway, we gotta get you back on the rails soon. I need to get these switches fixed. Eventually, when James and Emily were lifted back onto the tracks, they got a surprise. Percy, said Emily. How did it go? How do you feel? I'm doing fine, said Percy. Victor fixed me up now, and I'm back ready for work. Oh my god, Diesel played such a bad trick on me. I know, said James. It's good to see you back, but you won't believe what happened today. Yeah, said Emily. There's been multiple switch crashes today. Like, seriously, me and James just had one. Well, that does sound interesting, said Percy. It would highly make sense because of this weather right now. All of the tracks will be buckled and then it will cause all the engines to derail off the switches. I know, said James, but let's just hope for none of them ever soon, or otherwise the Fat Controller could have a lot more repairs, hey? Definitely, said Percy. Victor told me that he was rushed off his wheels anyway. He was glad to get me out because I was taking valuable space. I'd highly imagine that, laughed Emily. Anyway, come on guys, let's get back to work. They all puffed away, hoping there would be no more switch crashes for a while.